What is up? My name is Cooper and welcome to Safari Builds, and I'm currently sitting on a golf cart that I'm swapping with this 400 dirt bike engine. Today's video will consist of some cutting, waiting on parts, because not all the parts are here that I need, and basically we're gonna freaking mount this engine. Okay, so for about the past week, I've been moving this engine around, seeing what works, what fits best, the alignment back here. We did get this pipe. It's already been rusting after the week that it's been here, but it does fit perfectly over these two, like snug as a bug in a rug. I'm pretty satisfied with the way that it looks right now. I mean, that's pretty much how it would sit in the dirt bike. The one thing that we do need to change is we need to move this main part of the frame over a couple of inches because the kickstart hits right here. So I guess what I'm saying is we're gonna cut right there and probably right there and move the engine just to where the kickstart is a little bit past here so that I'm able to fully kick it. We actually can't mount anything until a part from Send gets here so that I'm able to mount the sprocket back here on top of that pipe. Let's get to cutting this part. I don't really have a plan for this, but usually that's when the best things in life happen. Dude, it's gonna eat my angle grinder bit up before I can even get a little piece in. Oh, my eyeballs. My arms are burning, man. Okay, so because I can't reach it in here, we're gonna cut here and see what happens, honestly. I think it needs a little bit of encouragement. Ow, we got it. Okay, so slight problem, but I figured. The whole rear depends on there being frame here. So the only thing holding this side on is this, which is pretty funny. So yes, we will be putting some actual sturdy things here, but in the meanwhile, this is just temporary. So let's move the engine back and see how it goes. Ow, ow, ow. So basically, the engine is low, but not dangerously low. It's mounted in a way that this sprocket will hit this safely without being too far in or too far whatever. It's hard to see, but yes. It's at a far enough position outward. You can actually go back a teeny bit just because that little gap right there. All we basically need is the kickstart to be able to kick. And right now, I'll test it, but it should be able to kick. Okay, so to usually test to kick it, make sure it's pretty sturdy first. We grab this, and basically that's making the exhaust valves open. The only bad thing is, ow! The engine is at top dead center, which means it's gonna fight back a lot. Too much so that I can't kick it anymore. So you can hear it actually just compressed. Ow. After about a week of waiting, we got our custom part in from Send. This thing's pretty sweet. Some steel, very weldable steel. The sprocket will line up kind of like something like this. Hard to show. And then the pipe that will go over the two rear axle shafts fits into it very tightly, but it does. So the goal of today is to put the sleeve, that part, right there, and then mount this up. Cut the frame of the dirt bike so that we can figure out a way to mount it here. But we will probably be waiting to weld this part because we want to get this little custom bearing so that it doesn't move very much, but I don't think it will. I guess the first step is to slide this piece on and then slide it onto there. So let's get right to it. Okay, so to be able to slide the sleeve over both these with the sprocket on the sleeve, we're probably gonna need to be able to move the actual tire around. So I'm just gonna unbolt this one. Okay, so I got it jacked up on this thing. So now the tire is fully able to move. So next step, getting this into this part, probably just about a little bit. Okay, so just to make sure that we get this part on safely, we're gonna use a little WD-40. We'll just do the same thing right here. Just to make sure everything comes together smoothly. Just give it little taps. As you can see, we're already making most of the way through. Okay, I guess we're just gonna snug this bad boy on. Kind of does a little bit of that. No, oh my goodness. I forgot to put this part on. Ow! Probably just got heck of tetanus. If no one else in my family knows, then what could go wrong, you know what I mean? Okay, so next up, I'm just gonna bolt the socket on so that we can check the alignment with the chain. Okay, so after doing a bunch of thinking, the sprocket actually needs to be a little bit further this way so that I have enough room to weld right here, because I don't really have any room to cut on this side, but I have tons of room to cut on this side. So I'm going to take this off, hit it a little bit more this way, and then we should be good to cut the frame on the dirt bike and then wait for bearings to show up. And then, yeah, that's mounting the engine. So let's get right to it. Okay, so now what I'm actually going to be doing is taking the chain that we don't need basically and just taking it off of this frame. And so to do that, we have our chain breaker tool. Okay, I can't get this chain loose, so we're just gonna do this. Okay, so just to give you all a little bit of an update, so we got the dirt bike out. I've been trying to take this bolt off, but I don't have the right size socket. I don't have anywhere close to it. I've been trying with some pliers, but also being careful not to strip it. But what we're gonna do tomorrow, once we get the right socket for that, or if I can figure out how to get it off, is we will be cutting there, probably right down there on both sides, so that we are able to take this part, which is where all the oil is stored, and then also it will be mounted up here. We got the chain cut down to the right size. I got to use the bandsaw for a little bit. So yeah, I will see you guys all tomorrow when I have the right socket. Hopefully we'll get everything situated. Okay, it's a new day. I'm pumped up because yesterday just sucked for me. Taking the chain apart was the biggest pain that I've had to deal with. I thought it was gonna be like one tighten of a bolt, one tighten of another bolt, and then the thing would just, but it did not do that at all. It took me a long time. I ended up using the bandsaw. We need to take this front fork off the dirt bike, all these front forks. So without further ado, we're gonna start loosening that bolt up there so that we're able to cut the frame, and then we're on our home stretch. Woo! Okay, so we got the new socket. This is probably about to be the worst bolt I've ever removed, ever. It's pretty on there. Oh yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If we just lay the bike down, we should be able to pull them out that way. So now that it's not stuck on anything, we should just be able to, I'm gonna give these some little love taps. And do the same to the other side, I guess. Okay, so now that we got this tire off, this front fork setup, I'm just gonna go and put this all over here. This piece comes off. Then this washer. Just like that, folks. This is the upper bearing. And then our lower bearing is right here. This is what they look like triangles. They just spin. So now that we got this out, we have the frame that we need for this bad boy. Okay, so the next step is we're gonna be taking this bolt off. Well, folks, we now have the frame that we need. Kind of looks like a messed up horse. So now we can go bring this over to the golf cart. To line this engine up properly, we have this, right? This piece goes to the engine, this bottom piece, and then these pieces come right here and mount like that. So I'm gonna put the bolt through here and then attach these. The first step is to put this through. This one comes down here like this. So I guess we're gonna need to do a lot more cutting up front. where these things are hitting. So what I'm gonna actually do first is move the engine up here so that I can bolt it onto this, and then we'll move this to where that needs to go and figure out everything from there. So we got that one in. It will be this one. Okay, so I thought I would explain, if it's not clear, the oil is stored right here for this bike. And I'm not gonna be using up a lot of oil, but I still want an oil reservoir, and I really don't feel like welding up a custom one and then worrying about leaks. So we're just gonna do this, and it also makes sense because we can just weld this to the frame of the golf cart. Okay, so now I need a wrench for this lower bolt on the back side, this one. And so now the engine is connected to the frame. We'll be able to see where everything fits. So what it looks like right up here, we'll need to cut this off to create enough room basically. So yeah, we're gonna cut this, hopefully, and then this, so that we have a good little chunk of room. Real estate, as they would say. Okay, it was not very on there. Now we're just gonna see how this all fits. Truly forgot how heavy this thing was. Okay, so just a little bit of an update is I've basically been mocking it up so the chain is fully aligned back there. I switched the sprocket to the other side because of the way it was gonna fit with the plate, and it actually looks really good. The chain fully spins. So now we just need to wait for tubes that are showing up pretty soon to get a solid steel beam going across, and connecting that and then welding that. But in the meantime, we're gonna cut a little bit off this black pipe so that it looks similar to this, so I can get in and weld these two shafts together that are split in half. So let's cut that and then wait on these parts to show up. Okay, let's get to cutting. We want to be careful so we don't cut anything on the inside, but let's just cut this thing. Okay, so we just got the piece off. Okay, so we got the grinder. I'm just gonna do a little bit. Okay, so after a week-ish of waiting, we got the bearings that will fit inside of this and go around the live axle. We have, part of this steel is for the roll cage that I'm building, but 42 feet of Dom metal pipe, steel. It's pretty big. It's not that heavy, but we're gonna be using some of that steel over here, mounting it here, making the connector piece right here, mounting back here and right there. So I have no clue what I'm doing, so let's get right to it. Okay, so right now the bike's in neutral, so we'll just give it a little nowing first. So then we gotta find this bad boy. Take that out. Take this down. Come on, dog. So now we gotta put one of these bad boys in. Should fit over. So for the past hour, I've been using a Dremel to Dremel the inside of this out because I got a couple millimeters off. It wasn't me that got it off, but it was me who ordered the wrong part, so that's why. This one now fits over, easy peasy lemon squeezy, but this one does not. Catch you on the flip side. After a lot of Dremeling and grinding and whatever, this bad boy fits. Give it a little love tap. So now these things are the most centered that they're gonna be. So we're gonna bolt this back up here. Well, actually first we're gonna put this back on. So now we're gonna put the chain on, and when we put the chain on, it will allow us to see where these two pieces need to go. I mean, looking down this chain, it looks like it needs to be a little bit more that way. So let's do that. Now it looks pretty good. Brand new spool of welding wire, we're gonna put it in the welder and then tack everything up, make sure it's all good, and then we'll get to welding. I'm not quite sure how long these pieces are gonna be. I mean, 3 inches each probably. And we'll probably do a steel beam that goes across because it needs some structure that way. So my current setup is the pipe goes there, comes down here, and connects to the bandsaw right here, leaving us with hopefully a good amount. Let's see. Okay, so now we're gonna cut about 3 inches off. So now we got our pieces. They are a little uneven, but one side is a little bit longer. I feel like I just ran a whole marathon, so this metal's really hot. That's what it looks like. But so it'll probably go in like that. And then I haven't even touched the other side yet. So you know this one's about to be fun. Okay, let's freaking cut this thing. Make sure it's nice and tight. Go down on the right mark. So now that we have this piece, we take it, slide it through so that we're able to weld it to this. So this rear mount is basically good. We just need to weld it. And then both of in the front. So we have this one, which isn't cut yet, and this one, which is basically ready. So this one, we're gonna need to cut a ton off up top and basically notch it. So let's get to doing that. So you're about to witness what I would like to call greatness. And that's basically when I get absolutely assaulted by some pieces of metal. Let's get to it. Okay, I'm not sure on how this welding wire works yet, so bear with me if my welds look like garbage. That is 100% the reason why, and it's not anything different. So like I said, we're just tacking everything. Yay! So I'm gonna check the alignment and then we can weld everything fully. I mean, everything looks somewhat straight. Oh yeah, baby. So I messed with the settings on the welder a teeny weeny bit, so hopefully I don't melt through the surface of the sun with this next part, but yeah, I'm gonna crush this thing. Okay, so like I've said like 10 other times, I have no plan right here. It's gonna be quite hard to join these, but that's kind of a done thing that I've done here. Okay, so I finished welding up the frame to the frame of the dirt bike to the frame of the golf cart, and it's on there. It's not going anywhere. The wheels, they're ready to move and groove, baby. So yeah, that's today's video. I'm quite sorry that it just happens to be a little over a week late. I was waiting on that steel to show up so I could finish it, but that is kind of poor planning on my behalf. So thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and tell every single person that you know about this YouTube channel, because we just passed 300 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all sometime next week for the next video.